How's it going, everybody? My name's Alex, aka Lanky Dragoon, and today we're going to be talking about my time with Life is Strange True Colors. But first, if you enjoyed the video, consider hitting that subscribe button down below. Leave a thumbs up and comment, as it helps the channel out a lot. For the comment, let me know what your experience is with the Life is Strange franchise. Have you tried any of the games? And if so, which one is your favorite? When Life is Strange True Colors was announced in March, I was excited to get another story in the Life is Strange universe, but I had no idea just how special the experience that playing it would be. There have only been a handful of games that have managed to emotionally resonate with me. This entry in the franchise breaks through to achieve that. It was one of those gaming experiences that I couldn't help but have a bittersweet feeling toward completing the story because I simply didn't want my time with the game to come to an end. As someone who didn't vibe with Life is Strange 2 but loved Life is Strange Before the Storm, I was somewhat skeptical of how another new protagonist and her powers would play out. I was wondering how Alex Chen's psychic empathy would stack up against Max's time manipulation or Daniel's telekinetic powers. I was foolish enough to think that Deck 9 would take a rinse and repeat approach to her powers and that they would get repetitive earlier in the game. Instead, the game portrayed the emotions of fear, anger, sadness, and joy in creative ways that made for interesting scenes that didn't feel recycled. There was a considerable amount of crossover between Alex's experiences in the narrative and recent events in my own life. This ultimately made her the character that I've related to the most, as well as my favorite protagonist in the franchise. The return of Steph Gingrich to the series wasn't exciting to me until I actually played the game. I only remembered her as the Dungeons and Dragons girl from Before the Storm. After True Colors, Steph is right alongside Alex as another series favorite character. It isn't something that I thought was possible after Before the Storm, but this title added more depth to her character, and her relationships with Alex, Ethan, and other supporting characters was one of my favorite things to explore. Despite falling back on a similar late game reveal to a previous entry in the series, the story of True Colors is an emotional journey about overcoming grief, solving the mystery of a death, and finding a sense of belonging. This game had made me do something that I practically never do in video games. I read every optional social network post, letter, and text message that came across my screen because I wanted as much of the story as I could get. Throughout my time with Life is Strange True Colors, I couldn't help but marvel at the visual set pieces that developer Deck 9 had crafted. Having just spent a week in a Colorado mountain town back in August, Haven Springs had a familiarity in its realization that made me desperate to revisit the area. It's a common saying in game discussions that developers can make inanimate objects into characters of their stories, and Haven Springs is no exception. I'm anticipating the Wavelengths DLC featuring Steph just because of the teases that we'll be experiencing Haven through 4 different seasons, and I can't wait to see how the town transforms through it. The game takes advantage of a new engine created by Deck 9, and despite being a cross-generational title, it has significantly fewer performance issues than previous titles in the series. The main issue that stood out was a significant frame rate loss during sections where Alex is freely able to explore Haven Springs. But that being said, it wasn't distracting from the overall experience, and it was easy to get used to it by the end of the first chapter. The Life is Strange franchise has always had the best licensed soundtracks in my opinion, and True Colors doesn't break from tradition. There are some powerful narrative moments backed up by great tracks, whether in cutscenes or optional scene interactions. My only criticism regarding the music of True Colors is that Alex is a character that has musical talents and aspirations that are underutilized in the story. When Deck 9 revealed True Colors back in March, they showed us the scene of Alex singing Radiohead's Creep in her apartment. This led me to believe that there would be more instances of Alex performing original or covered songs during the story, but we really only get one other moment of her singing a song like this. A moment that caught me off guard during the game was when a character inquires about Alex's musical aspirations, and it seemed out of the blue, as there wasn't much evidence that she had more than an appreciation of music. Where Life is Strange is headed next is anybody's guess, but with True Colors, Deck 9 has created not only my favorite entry in the series, but has given me confidence that the franchise is in great hands going forward. Thanks for watching my review of Life is Strange True Colors. Like I said before, if you enjoyed the video, consider subscribing, giving a thumbs up, and letting me know about your experience with the Life is Strange franchise, as any support is greatly appreciated and helps the channel out.